Hello and welcome. We'll continue our discussion on problems on inverse trigonometric functions. So we need to find the principal value of this sine of cos inverse of 3 by 5. So sine of cos inverse of 3 by 5. So if there was sine here, if there was sine inverse here, then I could have easily cancelled these two. So but there is no sine. We have cos inverse. So if we could convert this cos inverse into cos inverse into sine inverse, then it is easy for us to find the value of this. So what I do is I'll take cos inverse of 3 by 5 as theta. So 3 by 5 will be equal to cos theta. So cos theta is 3 by 5. So we can write a triangle out of it. Cos is this is my adjacent side and this is my hypotenuse side. So adjacent side is 3 and hypotenuse is 5. We can find the opposite side. The opposite side is 4. You can use Pythagoras theorem to find this. So cos inverse of 3 by 5, cos inverse of 3 by 5 is also equal to sine inverse of 4 by 5, because if you apply the same thing into this triangle, so cos inverse 3 by 5 can be replaced with sine inverse of 4 by 5. So this is sine inverse of 4 by 5. So now I can cancel sine and sine inverse. So answer is 4 by 5, and we have to make sure this value is between -1 to 1. Since 4 is lesser than 5, so this should be less than 1. So answer is correct, 4 by 5. So option C. Let's move on to the next problem. So we have sine of 2 cos inverse of 3 by 5. So we have sine, let us take this as theta. So we have sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta formula is 2 sine theta cos theta. So I can write this as 2 times sine of cos inverse 3 by 5, 2 sine theta into cos theta, cos inverse of 3 by 5. Here I can easily cancel cos and cos inverse, and this is also less than 1. So this is my 3 by 5. So what about this value? This value, to find that, I have to construct a triangle by making cos inverse 3 by 5 equals theta. That is, cos theta is equal to 3 by 5. So this is my adjacent side, this is my hypotenuse. So adjacent side is 3, hypotenuse is 5. So opposite side will become 4. So this becomes 2 times sine of, in place of cos inverse 3 by 5, I can always write sine inverse of 4 by 5, because sine is opposite by hypotenuse. Sine inverse of 4 by 5 into 3 by 5. So this is, and now I can cancel easily sine and sine inverse. 2 into 4 by 5 into 3 by 5. So 2 into 4 is 8, 8 into 3 is 24, 24 by 5 into 5 is 25. So option C. Next problem. So now we have an interesting problem. Here we have sine inverse of pi by 3. So we cannot cancel sine and sine inverse because we have sine inverse function here. So for sine inverse function, whatever is here, this should be between -1 to 1. Only then we can write some value to sine inverse of this. So here we have pi is 3.14 divided by 3. This is greater than 1. So if it is greater than 1, then it is not in the interval -1 to 1. So this does not exist. This does not exist. So we should be very careful, we should be very careful on solving such tricky problems. So this does not exist. Next, we have sine inverse of sine 7 pi by 6. Okay, this is sine inverse of sine 7 pi by 6. So we need to bring this value between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So 7 pi by 6 is 7 into 180. 7 pi by 6, it is 7 into 180 by 6. So 6 into 6, 3 is, it is 210. So 210, what I can write this is, this as sine of 180 plus theta, 180 plus theta, or 180 plus 30 we can write sine, and this has sine 210 is equal to sine 180 plus 30. So sine of 180 plus theta comes in, 180 plus theta comes in third quadrant. So this will be negative. So negative sine 30 you get. So negative half you get. So sine 7 pi by 6. sine 7 pi by 6 is actually negative half. So sine inverse of minus x is always minus sine inverse of x. We have seen in the previous video. So this is negative sine inverse of x. Sine inverse of half. Sine inverse of half is pi by 6. Pi by 6. So minus sine inverse of minus half is minus pi by 6. Option B. Option B. Now we'll solve this problem. We have sine inverse of sine 5 pi by 6. So sine 5 pi by 6, 5 into 5 pi by 6 is actually 5 into 180 by 6, 6163. So this is 150 degree. So sine 150 I can write as sine 180 minus 30. 180 minus 30 is sine 150. Sine of 180 minus theta. 180 minus theta. So this is second quadrant. 180 minus theta is second quadrant. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. ASTC, we know the rule. So sine is positive. So it is sine 180 minus 30 is sine 30. Sine 30 is half. So here we have sine inverse of sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. So sine 1 by 2 is pi by 6. So option A is correct. Next problem, we have cos inverse of cos 5 pi by 6. So cos 5 by 5 pi by 6, 5 into 180 by 6. So this is 30. So this is 150. 150 is in second quadrant. This is in the second quadrant. So cos domain is 0 to pi. This is 0 to pi, and the value is 150, which is between 0 to 180 only. So directly you can cancel this and put the answer as 5 pi by 6. For sine it is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. For cos it is 0 to pi. So if the value is between 0 to pi, you directly write this as 5 pi by 6. Next we have cos inverse 5 pi by 6. Again, this should be here. You should be very careful. You cannot cancel cos and cos inverse, because whenever there is cos inverse inside, and this value should be between minus 1 to 1. So 5 into pi is 3.14 divided by 6. So it is clearly greater than 1, because pi into 3 is some 18 divided by 6 is much less greater than 1. So this value does not exist. So it does not exist. Be careful. Next we have, okay, this is a problem. So we have sine inverse cos inverse of x. So answer for this is, we have cos inverse of x. Let us take this as theta. So cos theta is equal to x by 1 I can write. So if you write a triangle out of it, so the adjacent side is x, the hypotenuse is 1. What about the opposite side? Let us take this as ABC. Pythagoras theorem we can use. AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. AC square is 1. AB square we need to find. AB square plus BC square is x square. So AB square is equal to 1 minus x square, or AB is square root of 1 minus x square. So this value is 1 minus x square. So we can write sine of cos, in place of cos inverse of x, I can easily write sine inverse of opposite side 1 minus x square divided by 1. So now I can cancel this sine and sine inverse. The answer is, so answer for this is square root of 1 minus x square. Next problem. So we have sine of tan inverse of x. We can solve in a similar way. Sine of tan inverse of x. Tan inverse of x is equal to theta. So x is equal to tan theta. Or we can, if I write triangle out of it, tan theta we can write this as tan theta is equal to x by 1. Opposite side is x and adjacent side is 1. This is my opposite side. This is adjacent. So opposite by adjacent, right? What is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is square root of 1 plus x square. If you apply Pythagoras theorem, this is x square plus 1 square under square root. So we can write this as sine inverse. If I want to cancel, I have to bring this tan inverse into sine inverse. Sine inverse of opposite side is x and the hypotenuse is square root of 1 plus x square. So now I can cancel sine inverse and sine. The answer is x by square root of 1 plus x square. Okay, let's solve the other kind of problems in the coming videos. Thank you.